With one video game down, and many more to go, I would like to welcome you all to our second instalment of answering a question no one asked. Once again, we are playing a game that I am familiar with, but haven't touched for some time. In this video, Baguettes, Many Rages, I press to the right! Words of wisdom, you don't kick a man's loot while he's dead, and some sick riffs. The game we are adventuring through today is... and once again questioning, is it fun? Before we venture forward and I show you how much I suck at video games, please do consider liking the video, leaving a comment, and if you're feeling like a bottle of Worcestershire sauce, subscribe. Now, I mentioned in my previous video that I am a fan of Soulsborne games, and that got me thinking about Mortal Shell. I was first introduced to it when the Virtuous Cycle DLC came out. I saw some other YouTuber playing through it, and at the time I had an itch to play a Souls-like game that, well, wasn't Dark Souls, Bloodborne, etc. We won't be exploring the DLC in this video, only the main game. From the first time I played this game to the multitude of other playthroughs I've done, excluding this recorded playthrough, I've always enjoyed and liked this game. So a contributing factor as to why I wanted to do a video on Mortal Shell was to perhaps see if I could gain an understanding as to why Mortal Shell has many mixed feelings around it, because I like the game. While writing this part of the script, I did a quick Google search, and as you can see, and Steam has mixed reviews. Wait, what? There's a sequel coming. I was not aware. I can't wait. But let's stick to the first title. These are the opening words when starting the game. We are then introduced to our character, the Foundling, he naked. This first area is just a tutorial section, introduced to the controls and this game's gimmick, the Harden ability. This hardens the body to prevent physical damage, but breaks once hit by said damage. We obtain a sword, and true to a Souls-like game, there's a tutorial boss that you are meant to die to, but we are gamers. So we kick Hadern's ass. Don't worry, it's not the last that we see of him, and we get eaten. This is where the real game begins. Now, like I have mentioned before, Mortal Shell is a Souls-like game, and with games like this, they are very rich in story and lore. But such knowledge is never just handed to the player. Most information is found behind item descriptions, enemy encounters, NPC dialogues, dying in-game, online forums. It knows no bounds. And typically, there is a cycle of where you'll find an answer to a question, and then 4 questions will take its place. I will do what I can for the story, but this will not be a comprehensive deep dive into the lore. There are far better videos out there, to which I urge people to go watch if you are interested in learning more about this universe. After waking up from our little nap and going through this land's small intestine, we approach the second little gimmick of this game, and learn why Shell is in the title of the game. So the shells act as the different characters we can play as. Each have their own different stats and upgrades, which favour into different playstyles. There is 5 different shells, we will meet them all soon enough. We venture out, kill some brigands, and then are shown an objective of sorts. We carry on and enter Thorgrim Tower. We then introduce ourselves to the lovely Sesta Janessa. She will offer story related context and helps unlock shell abilities once we have the sufficient materials to do so. She's also got the moves. We head upstairs of this little hub area and meet the old prisoner. So as a thank you for removing the tarnished seal that was chained to him, he gives us fetch quests.
That's better. Thank you. It's been so long since anyone raised a hand toward me in kindness. You seem different, untouched by false truths. Unfortunately, I have little to offer you, save for that tarnished seal in your hands. A small gift, but I expect you will find it useful. Would you grant me another favor?
There is a total of 3 temples of the devout, each holding a sacred gland that we must bring to the old prisoner. Seems simple enough. But before we go gland gathering, a little bit of prep is in order. Like I mentioned before, there are 5 shells total in this game. Alongside this, there are 5 total weapons that we can get our grubby little hands on. Pet the cat for good luck, and away we go. 5 minutes later, and we die. We resurrect back to Sesta Janessa. She acts like this game's checkpoint system or bonfires to the initiated. We get back out there and find one of our fallen brethren. This shell favours vitality at the cost of stamina. We scooch past this mad lad and head into one of the temples of the devout. Now we won't be proceeding through this temple, we are here only for a weapon and it's right at the entrance. Now this game is a little weird with weapon obtaining. You need to defeat Hadern while he uses the weapon, sort of like a rite of passage. Now we are here getting the hammer and chisel, because arguably this is the best weapon in the game. It is my go-to. We beat him first try and get our hands on the goods. We head back to Fulgrim, and the mad lad from before was not impressed. Nice. And he fell into. Oh, what a dumbass. You know who also wasn't impressed? Me. After thinking I could take on the Grisha without going to see Sesta Janessa at Fulgrim Tower, we had to start back close to where we obtained the hammer and chisel. Second attempt goes well. The observant portion of you may have noticed that once our health reaches 0 for the first time, we don't die. This is another gimmick of the game. It's almost like a second win. Once per world reset, we have 1 second win, where we are thrown out of the shell to our naked foundling form. We are then given the chance to go back into the shell, to which if we do, we get full health. Like previously mentioned, this can only be done once per world reset. The world resets when you say yes to sipping the divine tar that Sesta Janessa provides. A thing to also note is that the second wind ability is only doable provided that you inhabit a shell. So if you're looking to complete this game without ever inhabiting a shell, which there is an achievement for, that's something to bear in mind. Behind the Grisha we find another shell. That's 3 in the bag now. We go out venturing, defeat that, and we have our 4th shell. By the way, obtaining all the weapons and shells, purely optional. Now we rushed and got our weapon of choice, which I won't be changing for the rest of the game. Next is getting our shell of choice. The 5th shell, which is available with the Virtuous DLC, can be obtained by gathering all available melee weapons in the base game. So we head over to our second Temple of the Devout. Like before, the weapon is near the entrance. Also like before, we must defeat Hadern. It was a first try victory, and now we have the Martyr's Blade. We leave and head straight to the 3rd temple. We fight, we die, we fight, we die again. We fight a 3rd time, and successfully defeat Hadern, obtaining the Smouldering Mace. Now, what I didn't know at the time was that those deaths were somewhat of a little taster for the cheek spreading that was about to ensue. What the fuck? I was trying to parry him to finish him off. I was trying to be... Fuck! God! Oh, he's got stage 2. Fuck! My god. You are a slag. Build up resolve is such a fucking task. God! Oh man, come on. Oh my god, how can you get those hits off quicker than I can? Oh my god, this is insane. It's... Oh my god, what the f... I give up! Oh my god, I just donk. Oh, I hate you so much. You're just a fucking asshole. What? It's that same move. Donk. Oh, I give up. I'm not... It's... no point. I give up. This is fucking shit. Get fucked, Hadon. Yes! Just needed a bit more health, that was it. 10 deaths later, we defeat a completely optional boss. But we get to wear his skin and have obtained all the shells. So who are the skin sacks that we have been collecting? Well, we started off with Haros, the vassal. Then there was Eredrim, the venerable. Next was Solomon, the scholar. For quite some time we had Teal, the acolyte, and then finally the pain in the arse, Hadern, the deliverer. Each have their own little laws that can be unravelled by unlocking their abilities at Sesta Genessa, each then being delivered by some gorgeous voices.
The Forge Master listens with rapt attention. He knows too, this seedling can't be contained by our crude implements.
The Ovets made promises of an end to war and human suffering. Promises all were desperate to hear. Myself not least, for I'd seen my share of tragedy.
With weapon in hand and us being inside another man, we can now, 3 hours later, play the actual game. So if we recall back to the old prisoner and the favour he has asked of us, we need to make our way through the temples of the devout and find the revered's sacred glands. Why, you may ask? You are asking, right? Anyway, the main theme, or what I interpret as the main theme for this game, is immortality. It is implied that these sacred glands and the true nectar they produce is the key to understanding and obtaining said immortality, as well as granting other mysterious powers and effects. Now you may be wondering, okay, immortality. Is it actually achievable in this universe, or is it some fool's errand? I'm sure this Englishman's rambling has no doubt given an indication as to what that answer is. But for those who aren't paying attention, I know where you keep your sonic body pillow. But yes, immortality is achievable, and in fact has been achieved. Sesta Genessa is one such immortal, but more on that later. For now, we head through our first temple. They can be done in any order, but we start off with the Shrine of Ash. The mad lads here are big on fire and the ritual process known as immolation. Not much can be really said about this area, it's quite linear, a good starting place for those first time playing. Deep within the Shrine of Ash, we find ourselves in the Sanctum of Flame. Spicy. On the opposite side of the room, we find a chalice containing nectar. So like everyone in Britain, when a little sun comes out, we go out and get pissed. We then find ourselves in an arena and a boss fight. Imrod, the Unrepentant, he serves as a guardian to the revered of this area. It's a very easy boss fight. Keep close and keep up the pressure and you'll get through the first phase, no sweat. His second stage, same thing, and then he is defeated. We then arrive back in the Sanctum of Flame, and before us, the revered and the sacred gland. We extract the gland, and there we have it, our first sacred gland. We just now need to get back to Fulgrim Tower and deliver it to the old prisoner. Upon obtaining these special glands, the environment changes, enemy variety and placement gets all shuffled, and it grants a more intense experience and challenge. The lore reason as to why this happens is that while holding a sacred gland, a mysterious fog appears and brings in more desperate creatures. Creatures that will do anything to get their hands or claws on a sacred gland, and more specially the true nectar that is within. A mysterious but intoxicating substance. A neat tip for Souls-like games is to just run through groups of enemies. Less fighting you do, less chance of messing up and resetting your progress. So we just book it at Mach 10 speed to the old prisoner, we give him the gland, and we get a new parry ability that we'll never use. So back to it, another temple, another gland. This time we will be visiting the Seat of Infinity. This, if you recall, being the place where we obtained our tools of the trade, the hammer and chisel. Now the Seat of Infinity, as an area, is quite the step up from the narrow linear passages of the Shrine of Ash. This is a lot more open, and with some clever level design feels much more expansive. This area also features many teleporters, which in all honesty, unless you're looking to explore this area in its entirety, I'd recommend not using them. I've played through this game a number of times, I know where to go most of the time, but each time I use the teleporters, I am just left disoriented and clueless as to where I am. And if you're thinking, well, don't we need to use the teleporters to progress through this level? No, you don't. They do come into effect once we have obtained the Sacred Gland, but the whole level design changes when that occurs, and the amount of teleporters is far fewer. As to where the teleporter will take you is a lot more discernible. We arrive at the dim gate, which is shut behind 3 locks. We go mooching about, finding a brazier that we can interact with. So that's 1, 2, and 3 braziers, and the gate from earlier is open, and we can head on through. We head up and die. No! Okay, we'll try that again. We go up, and die again. No! Third time's the charm, and we find ourselves in the Shifting Archives. We meet Giantess Janessa. Quick horny bonk for those with their minds in the gutter. You know who you are. It's time for a pint and the floor opens up for us, quite literally. Crucix, the Twiceborn, then makes himself known and we are in for a boss fight. Now because of the little fall from grace, we do enter this fight with suboptimal health. I know, there is an ability that allows you to harden while in the air, which would prevent the damage, but as this is the only time in the game something like this ever occurs, not worth spending the resources. We just need to get good and... bet you thought a death scene would play. We fly on through the first phase, with our taint being ever so lightly caressed by the fingertips of oops, I fucked up. With sunburnt mini-me no longer able to give cheeky bum wanks, Crucix gets mad and the second phase begins. We played a little reckless and started touching cloth, but we beat him. First try victory. With another Sacred Gland in our possession, the world shifts and it's time to run on back. We make it back to the old prisoner and hand them the gland. We now have just one temple left, the Crypt of Martyrs. This is quite a small area / temple, so with a hop, skip and an enslaved Grisha later, we find ourselves at the deepest part facing the Martyrs' altar. A sip and I'm sure you know what's coming next. Boss fight. Tarsus, the first martyr. I would argue that this is the most challenging boss fight in the game. I'd love to know if anyone agrees or disagrees with that. I just recall in my first playthrough that this boss gave me trouble. Like the other temple bosses, this one has a second phase. Also like the other bosses, this was a first try victory. With a delicate touch, we obtain our third and final gland. Cue the music.
So naive could endure such hardship to deliver this final gland. Yet, it is I who will ascend, and not those who are worshipped. Hand it over, and claim the honor to witness what's true. Stay back. I will not waste this divine gift. Unfolding, body burgeoning, eyes opening as if for the first time. So, this is how it feels to be chosen to reign above the rabble. Pitiful maggots, bowing and scraping before their gods, their lives unraveling one thread at restlessness. Fate favors those who act, be it in their own self-interest or otherwise. Come forth and bear witness to my ascension. Bask in my grandeur. It's time. It's all wrong. The visions have dissolved into darkness. There is no ascension. Only an endless abyss, growing deeper and deeper as I stretch my wings uselessly. I've fallen into a sea of shadows. I remember warmth and light, but even that is fading. The visions weren't for me. They were for you. Are you not meant for this blighted place after all? But why should you get to escape while the rest of us remain mired in this miserable pit? It's senseless, this injustice. If I can't ascend, neither will you. No one will.
The final fight is upon us, the old prisoner now labelled the Unchained. How many of you thought that we would end up fighting him? If you did, treat yourself to a biscuit. So, the fight. It's a single phase one, and the old prisoner themselves isn't that too terrifying. Just a big brute creature, and that has limitations. Some neat features within this fight is that partway through, shadow foundlings will start spawning in and will attack you. They will go down in a single hit. Further on into the fight, old Cornelius Cornflakes disappears and does this whirlpool thing. Loads of shadow foundlings appear, still looking to attack you, but inevitably get sucked into the whirlpool and heal the oversized chicken. He eventually comes back and we press on and defeat him.
I glimpsed this moment over and over. Am I now to witness your ascension? Or will you shepherd me across the threshold? I see nothing now. Nothing at all.
We are then prompted to extract gland, and then a big warning text box appears and kind of pulls you out of the immersion. We choose Ascension. And that is Mortal Shell.
Pray, what wayward spirit beckons? Oh, it's you. Welcome back, foundling. Yes, it's all happening again. This is the burden of immortality. Toil without end. Our spirits fragmented by the profane eternities. But there's comfort, even a certain pleasure in ritual. Where were we? Oh, yes. Sip this and you'll see. Yes, taste the truth.
I mentioned quite a bit earlier in the video about the theme of Mortal Shell, the theme being immortality and how we would come back to it later on. Well, it's later on, and it's practically spelled out here. So while the old prisoner, unchained Dark Father, saw visions of ascension, the Foundling's ascension, I guess what wasn't made clear in them is what happens when you do ascend, that old tale. So you achieved eternal life. Is it everything you hoped for? As Sester Janessa puts it, it's all happening again. This is the burden of immortality. Toil without end, our spirits fragmented. An interesting take and tale, and an immortal topic in of itself. For as long as humanity and humanity's curiosity and quest for knowledge persists, the concept and the discussion surrounding immortality will never cease. But to contradict this, I say that all things must come to an end. Like this video. Is Mortal Shell fun? Yes. It's a light, short entry into Souls-like games that isn't developed by From Software. It has a few homebrewed gimmicks, like the shells, the hardenability, and it has killer boss music. Let me know of your thoughts, questions or queries down in the comment section. Feedback is welcome. Thank you for watching, take care, and have a great day.